Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear student. This is your teacher Samina Anjum from Muhammadi Girls Secondary School. Before starting our lesson, there are instructions for you. Be regular and punctual in attending the classes. Divide your English copy in two parts: text and grammar and composition. Do your essays and additional grammar there. Be attentive during class. Remember to keep your books and a rough copy with you while attending the class. If you have any question, note down and ask at the end of the class. Now, let's see what are today's objectives. Today's objectives are, by the end of the session, students will be able to describe, you will be able to describe a sentence, identify the different type of sentences, differentiate between declarative and interrogative sentences, change declarative sentences into interrogative sentences, describe different parts of an essay and write themselves an essay. Means you will be able to write an essay. Now let us start. Today we are going to study type of sentences, and they are declarative and interrogative sentences. So before knowing what are declarative and interrogative sentences, we should know what a sentence is. So a sentence is a group of words with a subject and a verb that expresses a complete thought. Uh, for example, the big black dog barked at the cat. No, in easy words, we can say in simple words, means a sentence is a meaningful combination of words. Sentence is a meaningful combination of words. There are specific elements make up complete sentences. So what are these elements? They are subject and predicate. So what is a subject? A subject, a subject is noun or pronoun. And grammatically, a subject is a person or thing about which something is said. Means something, subject is the doer in the sentence. Whatever is does, subject does in the sentence. Okay, and what about predicate? I think this term is new for you. A predicate is what is said about the person or thing, means what is said about the subject, that is predicate. So, in easy words, we can say there are two parts. There are two parts in a sentence, a subject and predicate. For example, the sun gives light. So the sun is subject and gives lights, it is predicate. The flames spread in every direction. So what is the subject? That is flame. Spread in every direction, that is predicate. And one more example, my father gave me 10 rupees. So what is the subject? Yes, you are right. My father is subject. And what is predicate? Gave me 10 rupees. So in easy words, we can say there are two parts of a sentence. One is subject and one predicate. Means one is subject, a noun or pronoun is a subject. And what remains, that is predicate. Okay, understood what is predicate? Noun and pronoun is a subject, and what remains and means subject, and the other thing means subject, object, complement, everything, that is predicate. Okay, I hope you have understood. Now, there are many types. There are of a sentence. So here we are talking about 5 kind of sentences. So number one is assertive or declarative sentence. What are assertive or declarative sentence? Means an assertive or declarative sentence is simple simple statements. Means we tell everything through declarative or assertive sentences. But assertive or declarative sentences can be positive or negative. Means we give information through declarative sentences. Okay, and we are going to study about declarative sentence. So let's move on. Now the second is interrogative sentences. So what are through interrogative sentences? We take information, we ask question, and we are going to study. Okay, so in interrogative sentences, we just ask questions, and we are going to study in interrogative sentences about interrogative sentences in this lesson. The third one is imperative sentences. What are imperative sentences? Okay, imperative sentences are the sentences that include commands. Means these are the sentences through which we give orders, we give commands. Means, in other words, the imperative sentences are used to direct a request, instructions, or an order. For example, don't go there, enjoy the delicious meal, please stop the car. Okay, and although imperative sentences give orders, but by using polite words just like please, kindly, etc., we we can change the imperative sentences into request. Now let's talk about exclamatory sentences. So what are exclamatory sentences? So it is a sentence that expresses great emotions such as excitement, surprise, happiness, and anger, and ends with an exclamation mark. Do you know what are an exclamation mark? Yes, I hope you know. You know the punctuation. You must know exclamation mark. For example, how beautiful the city is. At the end, we have to put an exclamation mark. Alas, my dog died. We are showing the strong emotions. And oh, I'm going to there now. Now, the next type of sentence is optative sentences. Okay, optative sentences indicate wish, hope, prayer, or even curse. Okay, when we are giving wish to somebody, so we are speaking an optative sentence. For example, may you live long, long live my child, my my God bless you all, wish you a happy journey. So these are all the types of a kind of or maybe we can say examples of optative sentences. Now let's see what are declarative sentence. Okay, a declarative sentence is a sentence that makes a statement. Means what we tell through a statement, we give some information. For example, I'm an expert in French cheeses. Okay, then a declarative sentence does not ask a question. Means which type of sentence asks a question? That is imperative. Just like do you like cheese? This is imperative sentence. Give give an order. For example, pass the cheese. What type of sentence it is? This is imperative sentence. This is not a declarative sentence or expresses a strong emotion. Just like I hate cheese. So this is an exclamatory sentence. A declarative sentences simply make a statement or a declaration, means announcement. They pass on information means they give information. A declarative sentence always ends with a period. What is period? Period is full stop. Okay, I hope you have understood about declarative sentences. Now, let's talk about interrogative sentences. An interrogative sentence asks a direct question, okay, and is punctuated at the end with a question mark. Means we ask question through an interrogative sentence, and at the end we put a question mark. This one of the four basic types of sentences. Means you saw there are some basic type of sentences. They are declarative sentence, imperative sentences, and you know about sentences. Recently, you learned about them. So uh, it is one of the four basic types of sentences, and it's a highly useful one. Why it is highly useful? Because we take information through interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences allow you to gather information and clear up confusions, as well as engage in interesting conversation with others. So, through interrogative sentences, we take information. If we have any confusion, we clear our confusions through interrogative sentences, and we make our conversation, our communication interesting by asking lots of questions. Now, how to change a declarative sentence into interrogative sentence? You know, the simple sentence is a declarative sentence. You know, we use subject, then verb, then object. Okay, you know how to make sentence. So that is a simple sentence is a declarative sentence or assertive sentence, and a declarative sentence can be a negative or positive. So, how to change a declarative sentence into interrogative sentence? So, to change a declarative sentence into an interrogative sentence, first look for the verb in the given declarative sentences. Okay, search the verb. What is the verb? Find out. Next, shift the verb, usually in the beginning. Okay, shift the verb. What is the verb? Means auxiliary verb. Okay, shift the auxiliary verb in the beginning before the subject, as shown in the example. Here are some examples. Actually, students, there are some type of sentence, means some sentences, means some tenses in which, in which in the simple sentences, the auxiliary verb doesn't show. Just like simple present tense, simple past tense, we can't see the auxiliary verb in the simple sentences. But when we change into interrogative sentence, or when we change into negative sentence, so we have to use that auxiliary verb. So let's see, find out what is the subject, what is verb, and what is object. So first, she. She is the subject, and cleaned up is verb, and your room is object. Okay, so okay, so she cleaned up. She is subject, and cleaned up. Cleaned up is the main verb, and there is no auxiliary verb. And you know very well, in the simple, this is a sentence of simple past tense, and in simple past tense we use did. Okay, so the auxiliary verb is did. So did she clean up your room? And where? And we used a question mark. John has come to visit. So this here, what what is the subject? John. And has is the auxiliary verb. This is present perfect tense, and come is the main verb. So we have to bring in the beginning the auxiliary verb. So has John come to visit? Okay, so the question, how we made the question, we change into, so we brought has in the beginning. Has John come to visit? Or this is Naresh's wallet. So here, this is the subject. Means is. Here there is only the main verb, that is there is no auxiliary verb. This is the sentence uh, of the verb be, and here uh, there is no auxiliary verb. Is the main verb. Okay, so we will use is in the beginning. So is this Naresh wallet? So how, and this is the way we have changed it into interrogative sentence. Now let's see what is more. So there are again, this is the way how to change into this com- declarative sentences into interrogative sentences. The typical form of or structure of an interrogative sentence is, means we write the auxiliary verb. Here you can say, means it is also called uh, okay, I'm forgetting the word. Okay, so first we use the auxiliary verb, then we use subject, and then we use main verb. And uh, after that, we write the other things means object else. So, and main, and there is another way. First, we write um, and when there is the verb is be, so we write the verb be in the beginning, just like is, are, was, were, etc. So here it is it is verb. Okay, then we write subject, and then we write the other thing, just like were you cold. If we use a WH word, it usually goes first. In WH word, the questioning word always goes first, just like we. Just like first we write the auxiliary verb, then we write WH word, then we write the auxiliary verb, then we write the subject, and then main verb. Just like when does the movie start? The final punctuation is always a question mark. In every, I told you three type of question. One with only the that starts with an auxiliary verb, and one more that is starts with the verb be, just like is, mr, or was, were, and one more that starts with the wh word. Okay, but all of them, the similar thinking, all of them, at the end of all of these sentences, we put a question mark. Interrogative sentences can be in positive or negative form. Okay, they may be in negative forms as well, in any tense. Okay, in any of the tense, we can use a negative interrogative sentence as well. Okay, let's see what is more. So there are some declarative sentences, just like Fred is leaving. So let's see how we have to change into interrogative sentences. Let's see. So Fred is leaving today. The interrogative is Fred leaving today? Margery was accused of cheating. Was Margery accused of cheating? Ernie ate the last donut. Did Ernie eat the last donut? Did you notice? We use the first form of the verb. The chicken crossed the road. Did the chicken cross the road? Again, the same tense. Betty can play the saxophone. Can Betty play the saxophone? You can understand why I'm upset. Okay, so here the auxiliary verb, you can say here we have used the modal verb. And if there is a modal verb in the sentence, so we have to bring the modal verb first. And can is a modal verb. Can you understand why I am upset? There is a doctor in the house. Is there a doctor in the house? The, the cheese are returning early this year. Are, are geese returning early this year? Your parents try to cheer you up when you are sad. So here, so this is the sentence of simple present tense, and here we have to use do. Do your parents try to cheer you up when you are sad? Then Darlene chose the most expensive item on the menu. Did Darlene choose the most expensive item on the menu? Class, take a screenshot and observe these sentences. How we have to change a declarative sentence into interrogative sentences. Now, this is the matter of your book. This is page number 14 of your book. Open it and let's read. I hope you can understand it very well. A declarative sentence makes a statement. It begins with a capital letter and ends with a full stop. Most sentences are declarative sentence, means what we use. Most of the sentences are declarative sentences. For example, Jack took pity on the beggar. So this is a declarative sentence. We are taking some information from this sentence. Okay, it is giving some information. An interrogative sentence asks a question. You know very well. For example, did Jack take pity on the beggar? Okay, you can see the change. Okay, we used it in the beginning. You can make your narrative or expressive writing more interesting by introducing a question from time to time. For example, there were vague shapes in his world of darkness and the patches of dull light. Perhaps the king had magic powers. Was this what the voice in his dream had meant? Means sometimes we use a sentence to make our writing interesting. The use of the interrogative sentence in the above example changes the tone of the voice and pace. It addresses the reader directly and is a rhetorical question. Rhetorical question is one that does not expect a reply. Means there is no reply of that question. Okay, now, so this is your book exercise that is on page number 15. Open it. Replace the sentences that have been underlined in the passage with interrogative sentences that are appropriate in the context. For example, she saw something move. She could not see what, what it was. So, you know, for making an interrogative sentence, we have to bring the auxiliary verb or verb in the beginning. But here, the subject is in the beginning, so this is not a question. So, so let's make it. Let's change it in a question. She thought she saw something move. Was what? So instead of what it was, we use what was it. So here there are the underlined sentences that we have to change into a question. So I think read it yourself at home. Right now, I think will not be enough time to read the whole paragraph. I'm just reading the sentences. She could not see what it was. It is the same. What will be the question? What what was it then? So see here. Yes. What was it? Again. So now, this is one more sentence that that we have to change into question. She wondered what it could be. So, what will be the question? How? What could it be? How you will make the question? You will bring the modal verb first. What could it be? Then one more. Maybe her eyes had deceived her. So bring the auxiliary verb first, that is had her eyes deceived her. Or maybe it was hiding somewhere. So how we will make question? Was it hiding somewhere? Then one more sentence is she asked herself whether she should pick it up. So she asked herself whether she could. So what will be the question? Should she pick it up? Should she pick it up? Then the last one. This might not be the only mouse in her house. So was. So instead of be, we will use was. So we will make the question, was is the only mouse in her house? There, there might be a whole family of them. So let's see the answers. Here, what was it? Then, what could it be? I told you. Then, had her eyes deceived her? Then, was it hiding somewhere? Then, should she pick it up? Then, was this the only mouse in her house? Then, what if was there a whole family of them? And what if is we use when we ask for a proposal. So in that case, we use what if. Was there a whole family of them? Okay. Now, this is activity number B on page number 15. They change the following declarative sentences into interrogative sentences. Michael Sand Michael Sand worked in a department store. So these are the declarative sentences that we have to change into interrogative sentences. Let's see what is the declarative interrogative sentence. So, did Michael Sand work in a department store in town? Then the next is Mary does not care who disapproves of her. So, which type of sentence, which tense it is? This is simple present tense. Let's see. So, does Mary not care who disapproves of her? Then the price of petrol went up again last week. So, what is the which tense it is? This is simple past tense. So the price. So how we will write an interrogative sentence? Did the price of petrol go up again last week? Then there is something wrong with Lucy's car. So we will use there is no auxiliary verb. Is there something wrong with Lucy's car? Then his brother plays for the local soccer club. So this is simple present tense. We will use does. Does his brother play for the local soccer club? I hope you have understood. Now you can change yourself, your sentences. So you have to do the work of, uh, you have to do yourself the work of workbook. Okay? The whole sentence, whole exercises of workbook. Now, what is an essay? An essay is a group of paragraphs written about a single topic and a central main idea. Means um, a, a, an essay is the combination of different lots of paragraphs and a topic sentence. Okay, there is a topic sentence that is the most important sentence of the essay and a main central idea. It has some one idea. I mean, we write an essay on just one idea. It means how many paragraphs we are writing, but it has one main idea. We write about a single personality. We write about a single place. Using we just write one idea in a in an essay. It must have at least three paragraphs. You are students, you are young students, and you have only commonly you write with three paragraphs. But a five paragraph essay is a common assignment for academic writing. Now you have to write your essays using five paragraph. Means one introductory paragraph, one paragraph on conclusion, and three paragraph of bodies. So, part of an essay. An essay is a group of paragraphs, and that support a single point. And it has three basic parts that are introductory paragraph, then a number of body paragraphs. You can write one, two, three, any, and conclusion. The main idea in the essay is called a thesis statement. Actually, the thesis statement is the last sentence of your introductory para. It appears in the introductory paragraph. Okay, appear in the introductory, or commonly it is the last sentence. A thesis sentence, the last sentence of the first para. Okay, so this is outline. Um, of a para introduction, introduce a topic. Introduction we introduce a topic, and we write as state a thesis statement. Then body paragraph maybe 1 2 3. We write a topic sentence, support this, and we support this argument. We write data, facts, example, means what topic sentence means, what the main sentence we write, and we support with our arguments. We use data, we use facts to support them, and explain how they relate to your thesis. Means, and explain how thesis, what was the thesis. Thesis was the last sentence of introductory paragraph, and we relate in our that how it is related with our thesis sentence. Then a conclusion, we summarize all the main point, restate our thesis. Then, and number C, add a call to action, meaning we say something what you want, what we want readers to do after reading. We say something where we ask something to do in the last line of our para. Okay, then so take the this is an example of an of essay. This is an ideal personality. So I'm reading for you. Every person has a favorite personality. As an ideal person like this, I also have a favorite person, and he is my ideal too. I want to follow him and always try to follow him. Okay. The personality I'm talking about is our holy prophet Hazrat Muhammad, peace be upon him, for whom the world is created. The for whom the world is created is our thesis sentence. Hazrat Muhammad, peace be upon him, was born in 571 AD at Makkah, the city of Saudi Arabia. His father's name is Abdullah, and his father's name, his mother's name is Bibi Amna. Before his birth, his father had passed away, and when he became 6 years old, his mother also passed away. Then he was brought up by Hazrat Abdul Muttalib, his grandfather, and later by Hazrat Abu Talib, his uncle. As a young boy, he was famous for the honesty and truthfulness. The people of Arabia called him Al-Amin, the trustworthy. He was 40 years old when he was rewarded by the throne of prophet. So student, you can see I have used a very simple language in this essay. Please take the screenshot and write it in your copy, and there is one more part of this essay. Okay, so his followers faced all the hardships and continued preaching Islam. I did not, okay, take the screenshot. I'm not reading. This is very simple language. Okay, and using this type of essay, see this essay, and in homework, write your own essay as well. Okay, so this is application. How? Why we write an application. Here there's the question, why we write an application, how we write an application. So the answer of why we write, the purpose of writing application, when we have to seek jobs, we write an application. For asking permission for something, we write application. And for issuance of certificates of something, we write application. And for arrangement of different events, just like when we are inviting somebody, we write application as well. We write letters as well. Okay, the parts of the application, first we write heading. Heading is the receiver's address. Then subject, purpose of the writing of an application. In subject, we write the purpose of the application. Then salutation, it is also called greeting, how we address somebody, an act of honor. We give honor, just like we say, dear somebody, respected sir, etc., etc. Then we write main body. In the main body, we write the detail of our application. Then complementary clause means subscription, means suddenly we should not finish our application or letter suddenly, means we should take permission before leaving, just like in complementary clause we write sincerely yours obediently, etc., etc., and at the end we write the date format. Then this is the format of an application. Just like in the beginning, this beginning is the address. Okay, then we subject, then this salutation, and then in the lines you will write the body, and then uh, mm, then you will write the subscription, and then write your name, and then at the end you will write the date. Then take a, okay, this is an example of the application. Please take the screenshot and write it in your copy. Okay, quickly take the screenshot. Okay, class, I hope you have taken the screenshot. Okay, so this is your home assignment. Write an essay on ideal personality of your own choice. Okay, I have given an essay of Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and you take any other personality and write down your essay of your own choice. Then write an application to your headmistress for fee concession. Okay, and you have to write an application as well yourself, and do the given grammar exercises in your workbook.